Greetings, Legionists. Arndelt here. So, you know how things seem to always be getting weaker and weaker and weaker? You know, there's those complaints, oh, this thing is too strong, that thing is too strong, and so they always respond with, let's nerf it. Well, not today, sucker! Universal things across the board are getting buffs. Big example, Flamer. 12 inches of range now. Thank you very much. Doesn't matter what race you have, if you have Flamers, you now get 12 inches of range, which means when that squad deep strikes in or whatever at 12 inches away and goes to charge you, well, guess what? If they can charge you, you can overwatch them. And if you've got a Flamer, which automatically freaking hits on the overwatch, it might just be worth that command point, especially if it's the heavy Flamer. Thank you very much. So, yes, exciting news. And this is going to be for the October release. I believe that's when the new Space Marine and I think the Necron Codex maybe drop in October. But yeah, they'll be setting the groundwork for a lot of the other things that are going to be coming out. Now, as well, let me see. Heavy bolters for Space Marines. This is an older weapon that I thought would never get any kind of buff. I thought all older Space Marine weaponry would be left in the dust, especially if it was one that Chaos doesn't really use or much care for. Which, since the new chain gun, the chain gun left the freaking heavy bolter in the dust. So it's like, if you're Chaos, are you going to take a heavy bolter or are you going to take a chain gun? And as far as I know a Chaos player. He's never taken a heavy bolter since the chain gun. Well, now he might. Damage 2? Yeah, thank you very much. That, yeah, even with Space Marines, Primaris Marines, it'll just start erasing them. One, that wound didn't get saved. One Primaris Marine, gone. And that makes a lot of sense. The chain gun, it makes sense that it would still stick to 1 damage. A hail of rounds, but 1 damage. I swear, if I got that detail wrong, I'm going to have a crap ton of Chaos players going, excuse me, the chain gun does 2 damage per shot. You can't even get your faction. Well, I'm not an expert on Chaos, okay? I just kill them. Alright, anyway. And then multi-meltas. They are not going to, like, the heavy multi-melta. It's going to be a heavy 2 now, instead of just a heavy 1. So, yeah, multi-weapons are about to get even more destructive at close range. Apparently such a thing is possible, with the flat +2 damage bonus replacing its current ability, resulting in a whopping damage potential of 8! In other words, instead of rolling 2 dice and picking the highest one, now you just do +2 to wherever you get. Personally, I like that upgrade. That'll encourage me personally to want to take multi-meltas more. Even if I roll a 1, I know I'm doing at least 3. So, yeah, I like that upgrade. Drive me closer. I want to shoot at them with my short... let me do that one more time. Drive me closer. I want to shoot at them from within short range with these multi-meltas. Tank Ace Nils. Point blank. Argento. Time to slice and dice. Oh my fragging terror. I have been waiting for this one for so long. Not necessarily the power sword part, but the chainsword part. In my opinion, chainswords have needed a boost for a long time. I thought when they were going into the 8th edition, I was like, oh, chainswords will get a boost. They was like, nah, it'll be fine. And I just kind of sat there going, well, I want to cry now. So thanks for that. Power swords are due to get a +1 strength modifier. All the better for chopping up tougher foes with the energy wreath blades. That's not all either. The massive Astartes grade chainswords wielded by the Space Marines, both new and old. In other words, if you are guardsmen and you have a chainsword, screw you. I play the guard. I feel your pain. I may love Space Marines, but I also love the Imperial Guard. I was excited for Guardsmen to get that upgrade, but apparently just Space Marines. Sad face. Moving on. New and old will be hitting at AP 1. Thank you very much. They deserve that. Apparently being struck by a 4-foot chain blade with adamantium tipped teeth 6-inch wide is not exceptionally bad. It's not only exceptionally bad for your health, but it can do your armor a disservice too. Why the frag was I having such a freaking hard time reading that? Who'd have thought? Okay, what? We're surrounded? Russ bones! This is fun. Now we can charge in every direction! Attributed to a blood claw, Olaf the Incorrigible. That makes sense. Used with caution. Supercharged plasma weaponry will soon only ever overheat on an unmodified roll of 1. So attempting to shoot fleet-winged aircraft no longer carries a death sentence. Huh. Well, you know, plasmas across the board, except for the filthy Tau, could definitely use a boost. No, I'm just kidding. I don't completely hate the Tau. And no, I'm not writhing in disgust at the moment. Okay. Believe it or not, these are just a handful of examples. Prepare to have your mind blown. Now we know that lots of armies use these weapons, whether supplied by tech adepts of Mars or perhaps even acquired through less Imperium-friendly means, Legionists, to turn on their former masters. In any case, when Codex Space Marines arrives in October, every other unit that utilizes the same war gear, regardless of faction, will get their weapon profiles upgraded accordingly. With heavy flamers, heavy bolters, and multi-meltas all set to get even deadlier, clearly some retributors have been praying hard to the God Emperor, and he has delivered. But alien weaponry! But what about my lovely Xenos army? We hear you cry. Don't worry, your weaponry will get the same treatment. While most of their war gear may not be as ubiquitous as the Imperium's mass-produced arsenal, their weapons will be looked at too when each of their codexes come around. So maybe I was wrong about in October the Necrons getting a new codex then. Maybe it's going to take a bit. Take the Death Marks with their Synaptic Disintegrator, for example. The upcoming stat line represents the deadly physics-bending sniper rifle you'd expect it to be. Death Marks have surprisingly good aim for warriors with no depth perception. The Synaptic Disintegrator. So, the range goes up by 1, but it will no longer be a rapid-fire one. It'll be a heavy one. The strength will go up by 1. The AP will go to 2, and the damage will remain the same. So, all around, they're turning it into much more of a sniper rifle, which, instead of a regular rifle, this is much more of a regular rifle stat line. So, I approve. I don't have any Death Marks yet in my Necron army. Yes, I have some. But I need to get some. Obviously more so now, because I happen to be a big fan of sniper rifles. Meanwhile, the Rod of the Covenant wielded by the Triarch Praetorians will soon double in damage output. So, yes, both in melee and in the 12-inch range. Everything else looks the same, but the damage output does double, which means those Space Marines, those regular ones, that are going to be doubling their health, which, yes, that has happened. Regular old Space Marines will now have 2 health, matching the Primaris. They're going to be just as liable to be wiped off the board now against these guys as the other dudes. Power up! What's more, both of these units get a suitable chunky stat line boost to match their powerful weaponry too. Oh, speaking of stat boost, Space Marines will get some in their codes too. In fact, all fully fledged Space Marines will be getting 2 wounds. Thank you. I always hated that Primaris Marines had double the health of regular Marines. I was just like, what the frag for? Just make them the same wounds and the point cost differential. And fact is, all this, like, regular Space Marines should be getting new equipment, too. I don't know. Yeah, you've got your bigger, badder Primaris Marines. But lore-wise, it doesn't make sense for regular Space Marines to be left in the dust. And they've been getting, honestly, really neglected. But they got a little love here. I look forward, Games Workshop, to them getting some new equipment. I don't know why regular Space Marines can't operate all this new Primaris stuff. It makes no sense to me. But, yeah. Anyway. An extra wound? I'm finally as ultra as I always knew I should be. Brother Crasius, Ultramarines Tactical Marine. That's right. It won't just be Primaris Marines on 2 wounds anymore. All of a sudden, a lot of units that may have felt a bit behind, thank you for acknowledging that, Games Workshop, become very durable and appealing. From Battle Company units such as Assault, Devastator, and Tactical Marines to the Elite Terminators of the First Company will be increased to 3 wounds accordingly. That only makes sense. The Firstborn will be back to prove to their Primaris battle brothers their great worth. I love that reference. I don't know if you stole Firstborn from StarCraft or not, but I still love it. I'm just saying. Don't hate me. And as for future codexes for other genetically engineered transhuman warriors, both of the shiny gray and spiky variety, the same will apply to them. Just think how durable that will make Rubric or Plague Marines. Oh no! That only just sunk in! Plague Marines, no! 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 XL Pudding! Curse you! I know he's going to be playing his Nurgle armor next. I know it! Ah! In October, when it comes Halloween, I know what I'm going to see come lurching through the mist. I'm going to be disgustingly resilient. Plague Marine, Bilious Rot, Death Guard. Great. Of course, all of these updates will also come with a suitable point adjustment. The aforementioned Tactical Marine will clock in at 18 points for his extra wounds, 20% more than he is today. I do approve. Just make point adjustments. Picking between Primaris Marines and regular Marines should be as simple as picking whichever one is preferential to the points you want to take with you. To me, it's that simple. And it means Space Marine forces will be compact, elite, durable, and utterly deadly, just as they should be. Thank you! The future is bright! These new rules and points will come into effect, officially, as new codexes are released. The first 2 codexes will be with us in October, along with loads of new miniatures, and we'll be taking a closer look at them and what to expect from next month. As always, we'll keep you up to date on the changes here on WarhammerCommunity.com. A great way to ensure you're always using the latest up-to-date rules is to check the stats in the Warhammer 40k app. If you haven't already, download it today. Even though these upgraded rules won't come into play just yet, if you've been thinking about adding that unit of Chaos Terminators, Heavy Weapon Totem Chaos Space Marines, or Immortal Dark Praetorians you've always wanted to your force, now's the time. Heretics will also suffice, unless you're a Hellbrute or a Gene to their cult Lehman Russ armed with a multi-melta, in which case, rejoice. But still, Grimdark, and obviously. But still, Grimdark. Grim and Dark, obviously. Blah! Why is that so hard to read? But still, Grim and Dark, obviously. Alright, everybody. So we can expect a lot of changes. They look powerful. They look exciting. At first, I thought they were only Space Marine oriented, and I was like, no one's going to want to play with me anymore. Because I only at first heard about the Space Marine boost, and then a lot of the weapons I were hearing about that were getting boosts were all Space Marines, and I thought it was strictly going to be Space Marine boost, and I was like, what's Games Workshop doing? Everybody is going to hate me because I'm a Space Marine player now. But then it turns out these weapon upgrades are pretty universal. Even Xenos weaponry are going to be getting boosts. You know, I can tell that a lot of these Xenos weaponry are being boosted specifically to be able to compensate for Space Marines getting an extra wound. Because across the board, yeah. Well, maybe Scouts. They're not technically fully fledged Space Marines, so they're probably going to be sticking to 1 wound. Because it did say full-fledged Adeptus Astartes. And a lot of chapters, most chapters in fact, their Scouts are not fully augmented. They're not fully changed over. Alright everybody, let me know what you think down in the comment section below. This is exciting news for everyone. Excellent pudding. In any case, though, let me know what you think. Are you excited? Are you dreading this? Are you as stoked as I am and dreading certain boosts as well? Let me know. I look forward to hearing from you. Or just hearing you in my head, you know. That'll probably happen too. In any case, don't get into too much trouble, or do. it's always up to you. Toodles, Legionus.